Trusty sat down in front of Jack Frost. "Hi, I'd like to be a dragonfly," she said. "You get what you are given," Jack Frost growled. He leaned forward and started to paint her face. Trusty tried hard not to shiver. It made her feel nervous to be this close to the Ice Lord. She could feel his breath on her face, and she hoped that his sharp, beady eyes wouldn't recognize her. Rachel watched Jack Frost dab blue paint on Trusty's face. He was doing an expert job, and Rachel felt quite cross about how he was misusing Fatima's face painting magic. "I don't think that's the right shade of blue," she said. "It's not the same wishy-washy blue as your face." "Rubbish," said Jack Frost. "It's exactly the same. And my face isn't wishy-washy." He used black paint to give Trusty angry eyebrows and frown wrinkles. Then he stuck the beard onto her chin. Rachel shook her head. "That beard doesn't look like yours," she said. "Hers is spiky, and yours is more fluffy, like a fluffy, lovely white kitten." Jack Frost made an outraged, splattering noise. "My beard looks nothing like a fluffy kitten," he snapped. "Stop saying that. It's perfect. And so is my face painting work. I'm an artist." "Sorry, but you're making a mistake," said Rachel. "I'm looking at both of you, and it's definitely not the same. You should look in the mirror." Jack Frost scowled and grumbled, but he reached into his pocket and pulled out a round golden key ring. He pressed a tiny button, and the lid flew open, and the mirror sparkled in the sunshine. "Look at me, I'm gorgeous," he said, preening himself in the mirror. Whoosh! As quick as a flash, Fatima swooped out of Rachel's back and zoomed towards her keyring. No one in the queue could see her because the girls were in the way, but Jack Frost glimpsed her out in the corner of her eye. He sprang to his feet, and his chair flew backwards. "Oh no, you don't," he hissed. "You silly fairies cannot get the better of me." Trusty jumped up too, and Rachel glanced back at the other children in the queue. Everyone was staring in surprise. "Give Fatima her keyring," Trusty said in a quiet voice. "We won't let you get away with this." Jack Frost threw back his head and laughed. "I already have got away with it," he said. "Tough luck, Fatima." Clutching the magical mirrored keyring, he sprinted away from the stall. The children in the queue groaned, and Rachel and Trusty looked at each other in alarm. "How are we going to get the keyring back?" Trusty asked. "Hide behind the stall," said Fatima. Slipping back into Rachel's pocket, the girls darted out of sight. As the queue of children started to break and people wandered away, Fatima fluttered out of the pocket and lifted her wand up. "Is it okay I turn you into fairies?" she asked. "We'll be able to follow Jack Frost more easily if we can all fly." Rachel and Trusty nodded at once. It was always exciting to be turned into fairies. Fatima smiled and spoke the words of a spell. Faster than a fairy's blink, dwindle down and quickly shrink. Flutter wings as light as air, and follow Jack Frost everywhere. At once a shower of golden stars fell down on the girls, catching in their hair and on their eyelashes. They felt the delicious tickle of magic on their skin, and then they shrank to fairy size, their wings lifting them upwards. "I love this feeling," said Rachel, twirling as she flew higher. "It's always so dizzying and exciting, no matter how many times we do it." The three fairies swooped high over the funfair. From there they could see people with blue painted faces dotted all through the crowd. "Which one is Jack Frost?" Fatima asked. "How can we tell?" Kirsty remembered seeing Jack Frost's glittering blue boots poking out from under the face painting table. "We have to look for his feet," she said. She dived downwards with Rachel and Fatima flying so low that her stomachs brushed against the grass. They weaved in and out of a forest of legs. Big feet, small feet, wide feet, and narrow feet stomped around them. None of them belonged to Jack Frost. Then Rachel saw a pair of glittering blue boots with curly toes. The boots were running and people were stirring out of the way. "I know those boots anywhere," Rachel cried. "That's him."